remain to go up against the defending champions SRG. We're heading into the Land of Dawn. This is game number 1. And right off the bat, we're seeing a Hayabusa come in from Carl TZ, going up against the Fredrin, the face of utility junglers, but now in the hands of Kyrie.
Hey, if you showed me this draft and you asked me which one is ONIC, which one is TL, I would have definitely said Kyrie's on Haya, Carl's on the Fredrin. But hey, that's how it's going to start here. Welcome to the Land of Dawn, ladies and gentlemen, for the first game of this series, a best of 5. We're expecting guns blazing from the start, but with the drafts, it may not be guns blazing from the start. It might just be, all right, we'll farm, wait for Turtle, and Team Liquid will be like, all right, I will also do the same and trade instead of contesting for Turtle.
I agree. I feel like there is definitely going to be pressure coming in from both sides. They'll try to keep it going for the majority of the game, but I don't think it will be easy for either of these two to convert them into kills immediately because of the damage. And I feel like damage has been another conversation we always talk about, but in the bottom lane, there's a bit of action too. But yeah, I don't think the Zushin could be enough to burst anyone down just yet, even when JP gets the taunt. And the Kimmy will get to shred people to a certain extent, but maybe not guarantee a kill just yet if Kiboy does find a setup. And that's going to come in later because Kiboy does still have to wait before his level 4 comes in. But speaking of level 4 though, Carl TZ, is he waiting for something here?
Yeah, he's waiting for Sans to walk up, maybe getting a little cheeky pick off early on, but that's why you see Sans bring the tenacity. Like he's respecting the GOAT, he's respecting how much damage Team Liquid have as well in the team fights, and he knows with the flicker, he is vulnerable. Severo though, winning in lane against Oheb up top.
Okay, maybe it doesn't need to be a coordinated attack after all for us to see the first blood come in. That was close. So the bold laners are definitely going at it. Sanford still not able to get his level 4 just yet. So ONIC ID might be a bit ahead in terms of positioning and gaining control over the Turtle. But then TLPH, they will make it though.
Great Crimson Beacon to escape from Traction Pulse. That's an Appraiser's Wrap landing. Kyrie's still able to survive. Gets a 2-man taunt. First blood over to Sanford as that's Lutpi still dealing damage. Keyboy out of the fight already as Sanford gets chunked low. Sanji, Lantern Flare over to Keyboy. And will actually be TL to win Turtle 1. Keyboy caught in a tough spot. No, Sanford flickers out, respecting the G Kundo possibility.
Yeah. So even though we did say that the damage in the early game might be...
Whoa.
Oh wait, hold on, Lutpi! He won't be able to get out of that. So again, Team Liquid, it wasn't necessarily that they definitely wanted to go for kills after kills, but I feel like they literally out-sustained ONIC ID in that fight. They were able to tank enough of the damage, even from Sans, and JP was okay with it. Like, he still walked away, at most, just using the Revitalize. And this is something we constantly see whenever there's a Gatot Kacha too in the early game.
That's really the power of the Gatot Kacha, right? That Revitalize, the added sustain as well. And considering the fact that ONIC really don't have a lot of early game magic damage, just makes it very easy for JP to stand in front. And I gotta say, Sanji kind of won them that skirmish. He was the one that baited out the dash forward from Kai from, again, utilizing Crimson Beacon last second.
Yeah.
He used it like pixel perfect before the Traction Pulse actually landed, and now, oh, that's gonna be a free kill. Severo taken down as Oheb puts him in a clinch position for Carl to just deal damage.
Yeah, there weren't any shurikens needed anymore, nor stacks even. Carl TZ just had to use the Ogi Shadow kill, and there was no way Severo could potentially get out of that. Now, handing over the advantage to Oheb. Probably will be getting his hands on a bit of energy shields here and there, but so far, both sides of Team Liquid have been winning with very minimal rotations coming in from Team Liquid. Oh, but speaking of rotations, Sanji...
Oh, actually pops Crimson Beacon, but should be taken down here, yeah. Even with the Purify, he won't use it, he'll just save it. The Crimson Beacon, I think, was mistapped a bit from Sanji there. Now a 1v1 at the bottom lane, as Sanford is actually winning in this matchup. But Sanji should be actually back up right as the Turtle spawns. I don't think ONIC can blitz this, right? Sanford with a jump, final slash over to Severo, doing a whole lot of damage, but now gets caught in a tough spot. Has the way to Dragon Flicker combo. Sanford taken very low, and he gets away. Dang! That's one of the best, if not the best XP in the business right now, but Lutpi is able to get something on the map for ONIC.
They'll have to say goodbye to JP for now, but either way, he doesn't have the AOG anymore. So they won't have ways to set up using the Gatot Kacha, even if he did stay in the game. And so they just decided to save Sanford, keep that advantage intact for Team Liquid, and they will just still hold on to the lead either way. They're up ahead by gold, 1,000 gold, and even despite all that chaos that happened in the mid lane, OHEB was just quietly getting all those energy shields up top. I mean, you could look at how the tier 1 up top is already at half HP, and so OHEB could definitely be a little more active in terms of joining Team Liquid in the fights, because it's not the middle lane duo that's doing majority of the work, because their sides are okay. They could just leave them be.
You can see the SNB goal difference here. Only Kimmy Sans really holding an advantage here. We don't really count Keyboy, right? Because he's on a roam. Sanford's so quick with the vengeance, man. And I'm not talking about the battle spell. This is going to be quite confusing, guys, all right? Lutpi has vengeance, the battle spell. Sanford's second skill is vengeance. Lutpi gets a turret down below on the CC. OHEB up top. It's just a trade. I think this is what we expected early on from Turtle 1, but we're seeing it Turtle 2 onwards.
Oh wait, Keyboy though, holding the brush. Might not actually go for a setup, but it's a great mirror done by ONIC ID so far, despite the lead that is already in the hands of Team Liquid. The next objective is gonna spawn up top though, and how does ONIC ID find a way around this? Kyrie has been 2 levels behind, just now got his level 9. And the pressure is still on for Team Liquid. They're the ones who just are capable of coming in at the most unexpected timings. ONIC ID, they have a much more systematic approach to pulling off this lineup, because you have to expect that the fight will start with either way of the Dragon, or with Kyrie showing himself up, or with Lutpi trying to do a bit of zoning, but it starts now with the way of the Dragon though. It's gonna be JP that's targeted.
Uh-oh, in the back line, Severo able to flick around in time. Sun's just right there. Kai brought back by the Lantern Flare, but is looking for more. Sanford caught in the curtain call. Final slash doesn't land. And ONIC go back to the mid turret. Lutpi, that's a Vengeance proc and a Vengeance battle spell used up by Lutpi. Both having to back away, but TL with a lot more prio over for Turtle 3.
Yeah, and that's a lot of vengeances really, so we have to not get confused with all that, but Team Liquid clearly in control of this upcoming Turtle. ONIC ID holding it together. They're all 5 members complete here though, so they still might attempt to actually look for something.
Goes for the Zikundo, now it's on force, catching him, good stun! Oh, picking up the kill, final slash, combo with the flicker. Kai caught in the bad spot, still able to escape with the help with the traction pulse from Sans, and Carl securing the neutral objective for free. Now looking for the quad shadow, but Sans respects it, flickers back. TL with a solid lead as Sanji puts the Lantern Flare down and zones Sans away, effectively getting this turret in the mid lane for free.
It's so hard to catch Sanford on this Arlot. So maybe some are still wondering why the first pick, and now it seems to be the answer as to why. He's just too comfortable with it. Even that last-minute traction pulse that came in from Sans was dodged, but they target him now.
Yeah, but it's not enough damage to take him down just yet. Vengeance final slash over to 4, bringing him a lot of damage, still sustaining Sanford! Staying alive, but Razor's Ride finally gets him down as Carl jumps into the back line, gets the quad shadow, the shadow kill over. That Sans down, Severo kiting away, but OHEB finds a triple on the Harith, and it's just Severo left.
Sanji wasn't afraid to stand in front of the faces of ONIC ID. Oh, Carl TZ nearly got a shadow onto Severo, but Carl TZ and Sanji, they were the ones who did majority of the zoning and the threatening towards the backlines of ONIC ID. I mean, you have to look at this. Right after the duration of the curtain call was already over, they just went around Kyrie, closed in onto the backline heroes. That involves Keyboy, that involves Sans. And now it forced Severo just to run away because he could do nothing without his other teammates. Not at this point in time, not at this part of the game wherein they definitely need to do a bit more catching up, a bit more of farming before they could actually engage in a fight.
My lord. Team Liquid are looking scary. JP zoning Severo in the back. OHEB denying as many minions as he can. But in the end, we'll have to take the turret. Yes, Severo gets that cannon minion. It's all right, though. Liquid have already gotten a 1,500 gold lead for OHEB. That's a Starlium build, so not the talisman that we have been seeing from Innocent. Purple buff, almost stolen by OHEB. But again, Carl's already 3 levels ahead.
Yeah. I don't think...
Hey?
Oh, wait. Sanji, okay, still alive. But yeah, I don't think they have to rely on OHEB too much in terms of dishing out the damage, because the other members are doing a great job at providing that at this point. Like Carl TZ,
That's free.
even just Sanji. So he just has to perform exactly the way he's been doing. Oh wait, JP though!
AOG, and it's going to be Sanji in the back picking up the kill now. Keyboy with the way to drag him, but Sanford is right there too. Carl gets kicked, has the quad shadow, but brings Mr. Keyboy into a bad spot for the rest of TL to pile on him.
Despite how desperately Keyboy does want to set the tempo or does want to look for all of the way of the dragon. Okay.
That was a zoning ult.
This is a zoning ult. Not necessarily one to set. He had the flicker, but he still didn't want to go for it either way. Yeah.
Don't question, don't doubt the best XP.
Yes, we don't.
Go.
He can use it later if he wanted to. Now is not the
true.
time. But oh my goodness, how does this is an 8k gold lead in 10 minutes, and they have a Lord marching in the bottom lane.
They still have the final slash flicker combo. Oh my goodness, Sanford finding a massive one in the back, and that will zone all of them away from the turret. Base turret taken down with the first Lord taken in the game, as that's Carl jumping with the shadow kill over to Ludwig, translates over to the mini waves, that gets cleared out, and TL will move back now. It's too clean from Team Liquid. There are no holes in their game.
The final slash was right on cue. You just mentioned it. And that's exactly what Sanford tried to go for. Another attempt. Zaman forced by OHEB. Are they actually going to go for this though? They're actually trying to target the turret. Oh, but the damage might have been enough to take a kill on Keyboy if he didn't have the flicker.
Carl, finds an angle. Sanji gets the kill, I believe, with a Sky Piercer. I'm not even sure if he has a Sky Piercer. Would love to see the items right now. It is. Okay, so that makes a whole lot of sense.
So the damage from OHEB and Sanji. The damage from OHEB and Sanji. That's what you need to avoid if you're ONIC ID!
AOG to the back, the way to Dragon brings JP back into the base now as the Crystal does a lot of damage. Lil pops in a Vengeance, but the Shadow Kill is doing a lot of damage there. Minion wave not ready. It's cleared out by ONIC. A wave in the bottom lane, but the base turret up top will still fall to the minions of Liquid. In 12 minutes, they have stripped ONIC ID of all their base turrets.
They didn't need to help the minions up top. And with very minimal effort from Team Liquid, they get to establish this much control and lead in this game against ONIC ID. Damage dealt ranking, clearly OHEB is leading the pack. Severo is somehow dealing a decent amount of damage too, but if you were to take a look at that instant replay, that still felt in a way like a punish towards that AOG. That felt, I guess, a bit miscalculated from JP. The other members of Team Liquid weren't necessarily nearby to provide the necessary follow-up. And it was probably the most uncoordinated we've seen so far in this game, but that still doesn't take away the fact that it has been a clean performance from Team Liquid, and that especially will hold true if they get to secure this upcoming Lord once again.
A 10,000 gold lead to Team Liquid ID. Philippines, my bad. Hey. That happens a lot in MPL ID. ONIC ID, though. Oh, JP's looking for an angle, finds Kyrie in the bush and zones him away. OHEB on the Lord already. Keyboy able to conceal. Now walking forward, Sanford able to get the final slash into the back. Now destroying that front to back, but attraction pulls lands on Sanford. OHEB jumping in, forcing away the dragon from Keyboy, but the Lantern Flare gets him back for OHEB to claim the godlike. Sanford utilizing the minions to dash like he's a Lancelot.
He let Keyboy through. He didn't care. Because they knew that Keyboy could only do so much without the other members. Another final slash!
Over to San, still there. Kyrie in the midst of it all, falling down. That's a free Sky Piercer stack. Lippy with the vengeance now against everyone. Gets one, but it's done. Carl Teasy walks up again. Sanji lights up the base of ONIC ID, and it is a stomp. That's the Liquid Stampede that we've been talking about for game number 1.
Another clean game. The priorities were too clear for Team Liquid Philippines. You just knew what they wanted to go after. You just knew who they wanted to go after, who they wanted to shut down, and how they did all that together in this game. Individually holding their lanes, getting past the laning phase without or with little to no struggles at all up against their counterparts, and especially when it comes to the mid trio, they were just so efficient in terms of doing what was needed of them to keep the lead growing, to keep the lead in their hands. And ONIC ID barely had opportunities to shrink this lead. It grew to more than a 10k gold lead in Team Liquid's hands right before they ended that game. What a performance from the Cavalry. Let's hear what our panelists have to say after that game.
Thank you very much, Mirko and Brigida. So I kind of feel like one of the first things that we got to talk about is that Sanford is the savior for Arlet's win rate, because that looked clean and dirty at the same time.
I can hear Destroyer's tune already changing.
Yep. Actually, even before the game, I said, yes, it's Sanford. That's why it might work. And, you know, when I see the Sanford final slash for people, just like, okay, no more questions. No more questions, guys.
Even if he hits nobody, Mirko and Brigida saw it, it's zoning. It's denial of the defense. And that is what makes this performance by Team Liquid all the more terrifying. It's not necessarily a stomp the way we expect a stomp, because at least they got 6 kills in on him. It's not a stampede in a way that it's like a 12-minute, 10-minute game. It's more of a unstoppable object that you see coming at you at about 2 miles an hour, but you know you can't stop it. You know it's coming your way, like, oh no, what do I do?
So now, gentlemen, honestly, I think this is a very important question to ask. Looking back at wildcards, MWI group stages, and now to the knockout stage, we saw both Stormy as well as Carl saying like they understand the meta. So right now, I just want to ask the both of you your thoughts. What do you think is the meta now? And I'm not even talking about heroes. I'm talking about how do you approach the game now?
Rotations and triple mid, that's the main key. That's the main opportunity. Win early game. That's the main focus you should make. And here are the stats. So, okay, by the way, the carry. You see the damage. You see that damage. And that is Harry. The hero returns.
Yep, the way Oheb built it, if we will have time to show the items, he built it the old-fashioned way. You build a Starlium Scythe, you build a Feather of Heaven, and then Bob's your uncle. To build on, there it is, you'll see, folks, the item run-through that we're talking about. There you go, 707 on the young Kiel, Oheb, Soriano. Mid-trio, yes, Destroyer, you mentioned that. And what it leads to are better laning for your side laners, better rotations with the EXP, joining Turtles, scoring 3 out of 3. Better rotations from your gold laners, joining fights earlier, again, unlocking Oheb so that he gets this kind of a kill score. And better team fights in general. If your trio mid are able to engage sooner and call fights better, then everything else just falls for your opponent. Like, they're forced to split the map and then find just crumbs. And then you end up with a 10k gold lead.
And that was the question before the game when we saw Cho. So the question was, for what? Whom are you gonna one-shot? Like, okay, you want chain control? Take something else. But like the Cho, you need the burst damage. You need to nuke out your opponent.
Yeah, honestly, like looking all this entire month, it really is about this early game. This mid game feels much more volatile compared to all the previous metas, where it almost looks like it doesn't matter if you lose the early, as long as you have an okay mid transition into late, then you're good, you're golden. But in this meta, it doesn't seem like that's really the case, where, like you said, team fights seem a little bit more important now compared to before, and that early to mid, that's like the key spot where all the teams, they really got to draft their way to make sure that they have a good spot in that time zone.
And it's very rare now that a team can just give up Turtle 1 and 2 and then go from there. There has to be some way during even Turtle 2, let's say you just gave up 1, whatever, bad things happen. You give up Turtle 1 and then 2 by 2, you should be planning. It used to be that by Turtle 3, that's when you start to bounce back. But now, you have to consider, again, the very early mid, and even how you find your power spike.
Even if you are planning to give up for Turtle 2, please adjust to the rotations and take something for it. I mean, like, exchange for the turret, exchange for the enemy jungle, but exchange. Don't just give up it.
I kind of feel like that's the biggest point, is that now, like, you really got to focus on those turtles, because even in the previous meta, when you have an assassin in the jungle, you almost like, I'm just going to sacrifice turtle 1 and 2. I'm just going to go for their buff, let them take the turtle. But even now, when we see the Lances come in, the Hayabusas come in, the Joy come in, they have to construct a draft so that they can still contest that turtle, which honestly is a very good adjustment to the meta. But also, maybe teams that try to go for a little bit too late of a draft is going to get heavily punished in this current meta.
Which makes all the more SRG OG's win in Series 1 of today so impressive. They are a late game team. They understand the dynamics of pushing it past 15 minutes. But they beat a team like ONIC, which again, now looking back, ONIC PH, it seems like they've lost themselves in the current metagame. They don't know how to trade as effectively now in this current atmosphere. Now the question stands, does ONIC ID get it? Because now they have to answer that question. They have to answer to Liquid.
Also, one important thing. We see, like, for example, Zetian. At the beginning, it appeared pretty often, but for now, we even don't see it.
Yeah, what does she add to this formula is the question.
Yes, so nothing actually changed, but we see that, okay, we adapted, we understand that it doesn't work. The same thing I'm expecting. I hope that teams will understand. Kimi, she needs too much time. Yes, you got Fredrin, but still we see that's not enough. When the higher tier you go, the further you go, or like for the tournament, the higher tier opponents you got, they understand. Let's go in phase, let's push first, let's make a pressure to that go.
Yeah, right now, like, while we're talking, let's look at the reaction coming in from the audience, because, again, that was quite an opening game to this entire match, this entire series. And, yeah, I really feel like for both teams, because CLPH, they really have this stampede going on. And even though you said it wasn't really a stomp, I kind of feel like it was enough, right? Because I think this is the big difference between professional players and everyone else. For us, 10 seconds feels like a short time. For them, 10 seconds feels like an entire week. They got to achieve so many things in that small time frame. So I really feel like we're moving towards a meta where you don't farm that much. You just got to get that going on quickly.
And that's the magic of Liquid. They understood that. Now it's not just talk. Because again, Stormy said earlier they get it, and it shows. Now, Liquid, Sanford, they get it, and we saw. What's ONIC to do? What's ONIC to show and to say? Because besides OHEB aura farming, legit, when he just drops Diamond Force, it's over. You know what's up. How does ONIC answer to that? How do they make this historic encounter worthy?
And the crazy thing is, if I check the stats correct, between Kyrie and going up against Carl is actually more Kyrie favor, where I believe he won 6 times and Carl wins 5 times. So if Carl wins this one, then they basically equalize. But also just to show how close of a matchup between Kyrie and Carl really is.
That's the match of the day. But no, it's not the match of the day, because previously we also saw, when we checked SRG, OG, and ONIC, right? It was also a tough match, really interesting game. And here is like they got to fight for honor. And who's gonna win? I have no idea. But for now, I see that Team Liquid, they are more confident about the current meta.
Well, again, because this is the Saudi National Bank match of the day, we're gonna watch this extend forward. And so far, it does look like blue side is heavily favored, right? Because as of right now, crazy to think, we're already on a second series, still 100% win rate.
Yep.
We'll see if it changes or not, but this does mean that ONIC ID should be picking up that first pick slot, and we can see if they have what it takes to take down Team Liquid with that first pick advantage.
And this is definitely another check for Liquid. Sure, you win flawlessly, amazingly, spectacularly in game 1 from blue, but we know blue is strong. How do you do it from red? What is the approach to the draft? How do you switch it up so that Kyrie doesn't end up with a hero that he's comfortable with, aka an assassin? And how do you shut down the natural strengths of the rest of their lineup? Because I'm watching game 1, yeah? I don't see Sans. I don't even see Savero. None of them performed the way we expected them to. Sure, Keyboy found possible kicks, but the Cho was a big question mark to begin with.
Yes. So, a lot of questions, but the thing that I know gonna happen, 1000%, Team Liquid gonna ban Yushin Shin. So, the thing that Lapel mentioned right before the game 1, they remove it all the time, and they just don't want, they understand that they're not gonna play with this hero. So, better remove it and make your opponent think, okay, It's mind games. What's happening? They are tricky with us, and just let your opponent off guard.
Yep. Actually, speaking of that, I still remember during the group stages, it was actually ONIC that let go of the Sushin and then fight back with the AMA. I don't think they will do it here, but we'll see. And for you guys at home, make sure you guys grab the MSC pass quickly because, again, it's going to expire soon enough. As of right now, the MSC pass is still 20% off. So this is a good time for you guys to grab that for yourself because there's an opportunity for you guys to purchase the previous skins like Natan, Archon of Knowledge. So again, complete those tasks to get those MSC coins. And now back to the fight here for the draft. We heard from Destroyer, we're not going to be seeing any kind of Yi Shin. My thought process here is that we saw that Fredrin is strong, but it looks like it's not just that Kai. The Hayabusa, especially in the hands of Carl, is looking pretty good. Will we see Kyrie on those assassins just to get that tempo back for ONIC ID?
I think Hayabusa should be a bigger priority for Coach Sheb and Coach Adi, given that in all of first series today, in all of ONIC PH versus SRGOG, we didn't see a shadow of Hayabusa. And I think that there was something fishy about that. But now, assuming that ONIC does go blue. Oh, Lord, what? ONIC
Wait,
stays
did
red?
it change? Okay. Well, I mean, TL is blue, and I guess they're sticking there.
So the same game plan. You see, the same
Nothing
bet.
has to change.
Nothing changed. Nothing changed, and there's the question mark. If they got a ban, okay, no Arlot ban. So
There you go. So we follow logic. Where does ONIC take a turn? Where do they change their draft?
I feel pick up your roamer quickly. So, because maybe even Yums in the previous match, there was not many options, so they pick up the Cho. So maybe just, changing that one. Now picking up the Gatot Kacha as well as the Fredrin.
So there's the change. There's a major revision. Liquid, they lose JP's hero. What do they put on Dad?
they adjusted to the draft. They absolutely understood that, okay, Cho didn't work. So let's take Gatot Kacha, and here comes the adjustment also from the team Liquid. So they're taking Granger and instantly Juicing.
Yeah, the problem is here, I kind of want something like a Farsa. You just got to be careful of the Arlet, but again, something with more damage. Selena, Farsa, Valentina, something of that nature.
But that also exposes Sans, and that lets Liquid attack him all the more, despite all the bans that can still come going into the second phase. The CC is put onto Lutpi, so this I get. Again, you want to protect Sans. But maybe second to Kyrie, and maybe your team captain, Kiboy. Sans is the guy. He's Gila for a reason. So they're protecting him now. How do you go by the second phase? ONIC can crack down on more junglers. Again, take out the
Haya?
Take out the Haya, take out the Akai. What are you going to do, Carl?
It's a good question. And also I'm thinking, you know, and what about Kadita for the ONIC? So actually, if you want to protect, maybe the best protection is by yourself. So it's also an opportunity, and you got the combination with CC and Gatot Kacha and also Fredrin, and there are a lot of CC, and you can combine it.
Honestly, yeah, that is a lot of control. Fred, Gatot, CC, that's a very you don't get to move kind of draft.
You just need the kind of damage to follow through, to finish what you started. Loyi gets banned here by Liquid, so they know that that's one of the ways they can get blindsided. Again, very directionally oriented. Their lineup is currently, there's a lot of initiative, but if you don't know where your opponents are coming from, say goodbye to successful engagements. ONIC, do they take out more roamers?
Well, it looks like they're banning out the Akai. I mean, like, to be fair, they have a lot of ways to make sure that opponent doesn't get a move, and the Akai can kind of protect it. The only request that I have, you know, I would say preference, is that pick up a mid laner with AoE damage, because I kind of feel like single target was just kind of wasted a little bit for ONIC.
They took out the two reliable AoE mid laners, the Farsa and the Loyi. Do you Selena now? Because it's a little too spelled out.
Valentina is more spread out. I guess in a way you can make Kadita spread out as well. Selena is a good pick. It's just that I'm worried it's just 2-1 pick off-ish.
What if Kimmy?
Kimmy, no, please. Okay, I'm okay with Arlot right now if Sanford playing Arlot, but I don't like the Kimmy.
You don't like JP? What if JP Arlot?
I'm okay also. And last pick, it's kind of smart. It's kind of smart, and I like it because there are several options.
Alpha?
Welcome back!
Whoa.
Alpha in the jungle, first time in MSC 2025. The GOAT takes it into his own hands, and an old favorite too, the Hylos.
I don't care about your defenses. I got true damage.
Time to stampede, baby!
What a game! Wow, and the last pick, and it's if. I'm not sure about if. You know, I like the composition from the both sides, actually. Especially my heart. Team Liquid took my heart.
I mean, like, I requested for AoE. Eve has a lot of AoE, but the thing is, once the Stampede starts coming through, Eve has no dashes to protect herself.
This is very Stampede coded for Liquid to dig that deep. I'm excited.
Well, thank you very much, Leo, as well as Destroyer. But now we got to throw it back to Brigida and Mirko.
Stampedes, dives, the Spear of Alpha and a glorious pathway making its comeback in game number 2 of the semifinals between Team Liquid Philippines up against ONIC Indonesia. Could it be a potentially better scenario this time around for ONIC ID, or will the surprise picks literally take them by surprise again here in this series? Welcome to game number 2. I'm gonna ask you first, how did you feel about this entire Alpha Hylos?
Yeah, I mean, I see the angle for TLPA. They really want to go for the Stampede. Hey, they don't even want to just go for Stampede. We saw Stampede in game 1. This is what we call a possible Stompede. They want to stop ONIC ID right here. They know after winning game 1 in that fashion, if they dominate game 2, they might have ONIC ID tilted. They might be able to get a game 3 where they could do something else. You know, maybe show up another crazy experimental pick. And it's great to see this kind of unorthodox, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird to say unorthodox with the Alpha Hylos, which has been in the meta for so long.
Yeah.
But it is in this meta. We haven't seen Hylos in a while, especially not Rome. Alpha, did we even see it in the group stage? No.
He was in the yet to be used heroes.
So there you go.
Collage.
One more hero to add to the list. It just goes to show how flexible this meta is, how open it is. Sanford on the Arlet, though, is what I'm scared about. Like, we see all these new picks, but I'm like, man, Sanford on Arlet.
Yeah, it's showing how flexible the meta is, but also how comfortable Team Liquid is in terms of the current meta, because they're just so confident in terms of bringing out all these picks, because you're just so familiar with how you're supposed to use these kinds of heroes in the first place. I mean, this is something not necessarily what we know of Daddy JP when it comes to the setups. It's not the jawheads, it's not all that, but in essence, it still suits the way JP does play at a roam role really, really well, and especially with how aggressive Sanji and Sanford have been. I think if any, Carl's the one who's a little more on the calmer side if you compare it to the San duo right now for Team Liquid. They're literally making things happen, but ONIC ID right now, they'll be the ones to first position themselves in the turtle.
Oh man, they won the bottom lane fight as well. Litpi forced back is low, has to pop in regen. Sanji gonna be caught by these Void Blasts, but Carl's been doing a good job there. RWM coming down over to Carl Tizian, is gonna be taught over as well, and that will be the first kill over. Sanford first blood. Kyrie picks up the turtle, and it is a 2-kill start in the second minute of the game for ONIC ID.
Yep, that brief moment where Sanford just had his attention onto Lutpi and didn't necessarily land the stun was something ONIC ID did capitalize on. Ooh, Crimson Beacon kept him safe there for a bit.
Has the Flicker too. Sanford joining in the fight. Lancer Flare almost getting the last reset for Sanford to jump in again. But see, this is the gamble you take when you go for a draft like this. Yes, you can snowball, you can stampede, you can get your power spake a bit early, but if you lose, another time for Keyboy. Kyrie goes in and the damage should be enough. Sans putting it down. Appraiser's Wrath, big bonk away. Not in the sweet spot, but it is still enough to take the horse down.
He got his level 4. He nearly had the glorious pathway and walked out of that wall, so he could have potentially walked away, but ONIC ID denied that from him. Carl TC still got his purple buff, but yes, I feel like in as much as Team Liquid has such a great comp in terms of its ability to dive, it can be heavily punished by ONIC ID too if they don't get to use it the right way. The real-world manipulation, the AOG, and I feel like even our panelists have been very vocal about wanting a bit more AOE, and ONIC ID has so much of that. They could literally set the tempo for a team fight, set the box, and win that fight if all things go according to plan.
And this is the underrated game of Savero on the Moskov too. You would expect usually for the Moskovs to really just ignore first few turtles.
Yeah.
But Savero's always been that active gold laner. That's why he's been preferred over CW in this season. He's more aggressive from the start of the game. He's just more aggressive in general. And yeah, we saw him participate in the first neutral objective battle earlier with the SOD. And this is a signature pick. We've seen him play this since MDL, since Liga Nacional in Indonesia.
Yep. And it was such a perfect SOD too. Because Carl at that time was just right at the corner of the real world manipulation. So it was just so easy to land because again, there was a brief stun
Keyboy.
before you actually get to walk out of it. But there's a charge. Keyboy doesn't go in with the Unbreakable. JP holding the turtle, but it's already a bit poked down.
Oh, Keyboy landed a taunt into Sanford there. Kyrie doing a taunt as well. Over to Sanji, just a bit of poke over, back and forth. Keyboy popping Revitalize now. Stats give the AOG used defensively. The RWM zones them in the backline as the Glorious Pathway gets popped up. Lookby pops in Vengeance, gets away. SOD lands. Final and Flicker combo there, but it's a 3-man taunt from Keyboy. Savero joins in. Pure Misery actually puts Shantizi away from the Praetor's Wrath. And it's going to be Kyrie brought back again. Sanford jumping in, will fall. Two Sans in the push. Savero doing damage. Now lifted up and will be able to flicker out to safety. Sans with a cleanup again. Finding the double. Oh, Heaven Carl on the turtle. Kai looking for an angle here. There is no retribution for both Carl and Kai. There will be. Oh, Heb with the Death Sonata.
Oh my goodness. A great fight done by both teams, although Team Liquid were the ones who were able to stay a bit longer in the turtle. But nonetheless, ONIC ID, they still had their chances there. Savero went in at just the right time. Yes, did probably put Carl TZ in a much safer position, but either way, still posed a threat, so Team Liquid couldn't fully proceed with the fight. And I could say the same for Team Liquid too, the way JP just decided to make use of the Glorious Pathway to dive right into where Sans decided to put down that real-world manipulation made them really uncomfortable. But now once again in the mid lane, there seems to be another fight.
Uh-oh, Keyboy caught on the tough spot, has the AOG. Doesn't get it cancelled. It was so close. You could see the Lantern Flare almost pick him up. But the goal difference here, mainly it's up for Sans. 4-0 and 1 on the eve. And we've seen how it can carry games. It's just now, how do they deal with the clinch? JP pops in the conceal on the Hylos.
Yeah.
Kyrie right there to back Savero up in case anything crazy happens and he won't walk in the bush, you know? No Kumar moments, not here.
No. They for sure know that they're there, right? Like they're not gonna try and check.
Yeah, they know. Savero knows he's gonna back away, but they still want to force it out. Sanji walks up.
What?
Keyboy with a taunt, but it's only to JP, and it will be a trade. Turret down below for a turret up top.
Okay, Lutby's been working on the turrets for now. That's just all that he's been doing so far, but yeah, interesting how the idea that Team Liquid does want to do with this lineup is somehow answered back by ONIC ID for multiple times in a row now whenever they do try to engage in a team fight. Because I feel like even just the energy eruption, it gives that delay that buys enough time for ONIC ID to already set things up, especially when Team Liquid PH does decide to dive in. We haven't even seen a successful Spear of Alpha just yet coming in from Carl TZ2. Might have been an option for him to use it a bit more defensively for the past few minutes of the game. But now, will they try to actually go for another engage?
Boy. With the taunt again, JP able to cancel it out. Now with the Lord's Pathway, Sanford with the final slash flicker into the backline, but Sans popped in a real world manipulation in time. Keep over the taunt, Kai with the win with the retreat battle, as that's the RWM already out. SOD landing, Savero piercing through. Carl TZ kiting back with Oheb, and it's a back and forth battle with the Vengeance popped in again over to Lutpi, and somehow the minions get the turret in the mid lane, and it becomes 2 for 1.
Team Liquid have managed the wave pretty well, or ONIC ID might have stayed a bit too long, trying to wait for the right opportunity, trying to set up for that fight, which happened in the turtle just now. And so we see how Team Liquid are actually able to keep up in terms of the sustained team fights. Carl TZ, as long as you don't get to burst him down, the true damage is definitely there. It does threaten ONIC ID to a certain extent, but you could say the same.
Wow.
Lutpi, that Vengeance, it just does so much. But yeah, the gold lead between our gold laners, I did not actually know it was this significant.
It didn't look like it, right? I mean, now Oheb has 3 kills. He's been stacking up kills slowly but surely. But yeah, you wouldn't expect that big of a lead. I guess the gold crab has really just been given over to OHEB every time, just because ONIC ID have always kind of ignored the gold lane. They wanted to play Severo at weak side, and Severo's been leaving lane a lot.
Yeah, that's true. So they might have not put that much attention into OHEB, and that might be the thing that'll bite them in the back as this game progresses. Because I don't even think you could say they've completely shut down Team Liquid just yet. It's just that it's been a bit uncomfortable for them whenever the team fights do break out, but it's not like they always lose out when you look at the bigger picture. It's somehow there are just a bit more advantages if you look at ONIC ID and the way they're able to keep themselves a bit more alive with a bit more HP after each fight happens. But I think you also have to look at the macro, because it's beyond how OHEB is surprisingly in the lead. They unknowingly let go of turrets, and I don't think that should be happening up against a team like Team Liquid.
Nope. The goalie is completely gone for ONIC. Now, final slash of the flicker combo over to Kyrie, and he's going to be bursted down to the Spear of Alpha. OHEB picks up the kill. The AOG defensively as Carl TZ gets chunked down, but is still able to survive. That's going to be Ludwig jumping with a vengeance, and it's still the retreat from Carl. OHEB gets a double. The SOD lands, but he cannot take it. OHEB, the Filipino sniper, with a triple.
And you wonder how many stacks he already has on this Granger, on the Skypiercer, with a 6-0 standing. It's been a relatively quiet game for Team Liquid, but now that he's online, that definitely changes things up.
San's live cam view gets a kill on Sanji. A bit too aggressive, but yeah. Oh, San's got to be careful there. Kai holding in. Ooh, what? Ooh. Yeah, Sanji, I guess they just walked up a bit too aggressive.
That is the playstyle we've been seeing from Sanji.
That's
so
true.
I wouldn't be surprised if he might have done that. But you have to be a bit more careful now for Team Liquid. They finally regained the lead in this game. They're the ones with the Lord. ONIC ID will definitely have to work on that first. They get to reveal Team Liquid through the Magic Sentry. And they have the slows here and there. Oh, final slash once again to Keyboy.
But the RWM's right there, and a double taunt comes in from Keyboy and Kai. The SOD lands as well, and the Praise's Wrath does enough to take him down. Kai with the Spear of Alpha, Ludwig spacing away perfectly. Sanford down, Lord down, ONIC ID defended without losing a Holy Shield.
Okay. They still have all their Holy Shields intact.
No, not a mid.
No. Just, I mean, they took down the mid.
Yeah.
So that's just one. But maybe not Keyboy if you're Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not go for Keyboy.
That's true.
There are so much other options. I mean, he was definitely the most accessible one, but he has the AOG. So they'll have to take note of that moving forward, because I don't think that was the first time they actually tried to go for a setup and Keyboy was the one on the receiving end. And they just got out. Oh, wait.
Spear of Alpha from Carl. The Glorious Pathway cutting Kai in the back line. The Praise's Wrath comes down as well. The AOG locks him down in the back. Double taunt over. That's a lot of piercing damage. Sans with the real world manipulation. Zones them, but Carl jumps in with the Spear of Alpha against Sans. Gets a double Ludwig. Zone in the back. That's Sanford walking up. Sans still kiting away now. Pops in the Void Blast as he kites again. And he evades from a lot of those shots. But OHEB continues with the siege in the bottom lane. Pushing out the Death Sonata. And it will be a base turret for TL as they look to push in mid.
Now they might just try to look for another one, but Kyrie will be here to try and defend and clear the minion waves. Everything changes when Kartizi finds the right positioning. Yes, he did go down, but you saw how he just blocked everyone off and just applied the right amount of true damage, much to a point where Kyrie, he just needed one last hit and he finally would have went down. So aside the fact that Severo was one of the first few ones to actually get taken down in that fight, ONIC ID definitely needed to play it a bit more carefully right after that happened, because OHEB was still alive. And OHEB right now is 7-0-1, level 15, probably already complete in terms of his items or just lacking at most one. So this is where things can potentially change. Oh yeah, he has complete items, even the Wind of Nature.
Who has the better front to back? Conceal already. Lippy cancel. Keyboy still in the front, now going to be stunned up by JP as he goes into the back. Carl still wins out the retreat battle. The AOG defensively as that's even Spear of Alpha landing on two with the RWM doing so much damage. Sanji diving to the back. Severo getting the kill. still. Wind of Nature from OHEB, still stunned up. Severo able to flick around to safety as Carl still holds his ground. OHEB, that's another one landing. Looking for the chase. Severo gets away, and ONIC again trade out 2 for 1. It's worth it for TL.
Severo could have actually done much more, but the thing is, you'd feel too hesitant if the majority of your teammates are already running away. That's the purple buff. Still taken by Kyrie. But there's a Lord. Ludpi's gonna make it in time. He still has 5 seconds on the death timers. But I feel like Team Liquid will be paying attention to the other lanes for now. At least respecting ONIC ID and their capabilities to defend. Because despite what's been happening so far in this game, Severo, you can already feel his damage. He is definitely a threat, especially with once there is a failed attempt from Team Liquid, Sanford could definitely get punished later on. Oh!
Spear of Alpha over to Kai. RWM locks Carl down. That's a winner crown to buy some time. AOG lands a double top from Kinoy! Kyrie in the front, the final touch dodge away from Severo, and Sans wreaking havoc throughout this fight. SOD from Severo doesn't get the Spear of Misery, but goes in again, gets shot down by OHEB with the Rhapsody, and ONIC are looking for the chase. Severo with the blade, piercing damage over to OHEB as Ludpi chases again. OHEB gets out, still somehow has his flicker intact. Sans hovering over, zoning OHEB for protecting this tier 2. 3 members down.
Besonadas, they will try to clear the waves from a distance, but it will be enough. ONIC ID gain access to 1 base turret from the cavalry, and that's exactly what we talked about. Those small errors that could completely be turned around by ONIC ID given the nature of their lineup. A single real-world manipulation in response to a failed attempt could mean everything to ONIC ID.
The damage came through from Sans, that real-world manipulation, but in that skirmish, we gotta give props over to Keyboy.
Yep.
He was the one keeping everyone there. The AOG landed, the taunt came in as well. That is not Severo. OHEB is 9-0-1. He's still almost fully stacked up. Again, would love to see the stacks on OHEB right now, because despite all of this, despite the front line already getting dismantled, he stays alive without using Flicker. This man's positioning is immaculate.
Did he go for item change right there? Because I feel like he had the Wind of Nature earlier already, but he bought it again right now. So maybe there was a bit of buy and sell, especially in that last clash which happened. We'll get to confirm that later on, but this is looking to be a game that ONIC ID might have gotten themselves back into. They actually have the lead already.
Does the lead even matter at this point is the question, right? Have all the carries gone to their power spakes? Sans and OHEB, eyes on them. It comes down to the front to back, and it's not the gold lane here. Severo is the added bonus because he has the SOD. He has ways to break the front line. The main damage source, though, in a lot of these team fights is Sans for ONIC ID.
Yeah. I mean, Team Liquid do have decent range, but it's through OHEB. Sans, his kind of range is different. It just affects
a few bops.
Yeah, it affects so much more than poking heroes down, poking certain members down. Oh, but wait, JP too.
Chain CC there, Ludpi doing a lot of damage again. Sanford looking for the final slash, able to find Sans, but it's going to be flicker out, but they dive in the backline with Sanji, Crimson Beacon! It's Sans in the backline, targeted and taken out. Severo able to get the winner crown away, now kiting away. JP put down with Spear of Misery. They're kiting over to OHEB. Ludpi unable to get into frame. OHEB with the flicker gets the kill and gets out. Severo buys Wind of Nature, now onto Sanford he goes. Final slash landing. It's Severo kiting away again. Kyrie in the backline trying to go for something, but he cannot. Severo with a chase. Immortality down for OHEB. He pops in with a Nature and now gets chain CC'd to the ground. Team Liquid have wiped ONIC ID out.
Individual highlight plays just to make it out alive. Winter crowns coming in from Carl. Even though it got too messy, it's a wipeout. ONIC ID, they only have Sans to defend this.
Oh, they got a minute wave to come in again. That's going to be the RWM to zone them in the back. But it is enough for ONIC ID to stay in this game. And TL, because of that move, I don't think they can blitz the Lord. No, they can't.
They can't. OHEB's not there too. That was a shutdown on OHEB, by the way. Whoever got the kill on OHEB.
Severo
Savero, he definitely got a lot of bounty out of that. And now he's keeping up. I don't think keeping up even is the right term, because in that fight, he was the one who served as a massive threat. That last minute wind of nature, if it weren't for the knock-up on the Lantern Flare done by Sanji there, that could have been a turnaround or a way for ONIC ID to keep themselves alive once more, or even convert into the Lord, because if Savera was there, then they could have been the ones to blitz the Lord. But Team Liquid Philippines, are they looking for a different route?
They need to. They need to break this front to back. They were able to access Sans, right? It was Sanji and JP getting an angle somehow through the jungles of ONIC to get that flank to happen. That was what made Sanford's sacrifice worth it. And in the end, he didn't even need to sacrifice, because they were able to get the shutdown. And ONIC, instead of defending Sans, they were like, all right, Sans is a lost cause at that point, right? Everybody was piling on him.
Yeah.
We needed to go for something else, and that's why they just dove on Oheb.
But the call is different.
Hey.
Oh, wait. Oh, Savero all alone. Keyboy might be able to help him though, but they're actually going to go for him.
Hey, the base is wide open. This could be the signature play. The base going to be targeted down here by Oheb. The mid-wave's going to be canceled out. Whoa! TLPH, a massive gamble. Sans with a taste down now as Ludwig pushes in mid lane. Sans buys the immortality in time, pops in a Void Blast as well. JP going to be caught as well. Can they recall? Keyboy will not be able to cancel Oheb as he gets the recall in time. And it ends up just being Sanford left to sacrifice. He gets out with a vengeance. Darn you, Sanford!
That's the Arlet. That's Sanford on the Arlet for you, still alive. And we'll get to recall. Carl TZ and JP were taken out in that sequence though. So this means ONIC ID will be a lot more encouraged to take this objective. But Sanji, he's walking up front.
Do they have enough damage is the question. Ludwig has the vengeance. Keyboy looking for the taunt. Sanford reads it out. Oheb shooting them down. Ludwig joining in the fight again. Real world manipulation with a taunt down. Sanford with a vengeance now, but it's going to be the vengeance over from Ludwig. Final slash, and they go for the chase. Kyrie gets the Evolve Lord, and now they must back. They will back. 20 minutes in, a turnaround for ONIC ID.
Luckily enough, even without anything to use the vengeance on, Sanji was there helping Sanford, making sure he still got to survive the vengeance, the potential turn that could have been done by ONIC ID, but nonetheless, I feel like there wasn't any much threat. Kyrie still had the retribution during that moment, so it was almost sure, it was almost guaranteed that they definitely would be the ones getting the objective. And now that's what Team Liquid is trying to work on, but Keyboy, he's also looking for an angle himself. Conceal gets spotted out by Sanford though, and Team Liquid used the conceal for themselves as well. Wait, Sanji!
This could be the angle, but he's forced to recall. Evolve Lord, they're playing with a damage reduction now as Sans continues to just push it forward. RWM locking Carl TZ down, forcing the Spear of Alpha defensively. Lord gonna be dealt with. Carl TZ very low. Savero kiting away with a piercing damage, doing a whole lot to TL, but again, TL have a lot of shred. Carl and Oheb, if they continue to push, will be able to clear out these Lords pretty easily.
Yeah, but will they be confident enough to look for a fight? They still have to deal with the incoming waves. You would have thought that maybe because they know that there's no real world manipulation anymore for ONIC ID, but there's a lot of housekeeping you need to do. You can't allow ONIC ID an opening as well, because I feel like they'll be capable enough to go for a split push or a different way to end things, especially through Savero, similar to how Team Liquid attempted to do that earlier. I mean, that play was definitely a highlight, right? The way they took that gamble down bottom and tried to end it there. So now Team Liquid, they have to stay composed. I know it does feel like they were the ones in the better position for majority of the game, but things are completely different right now. And that's maybe why you also sense a bit of desperation in terms of the calls.
They know they've been outscaled. This is a problem now for Liquid, the big one. Damage from Carl, just the use of that hero in general. At this point, Team Liquid are really just playing for Oheb. If Oheb gets the kills, if he's still able to get those Sky Piercer stacks up, he'll win them the game. But ONIC ID have a lot more. To have a CC, a Moskov, a Yi, so much more damage to play with now that we're in the late game.
That's so much sustained damage. That'll be very favorable for them if ever the team fight does get a bit extended. Not to mention Savero. Now Sanford might just try to look for an angle though.
Hold up, they gotta be careful. JP with the flank. He finds Sans in the back now, able to find the stun, but it's giving the zone out from Ludpi. Pops in the current call, the AOG locking him down as well. Severo doing so much to peel for Sans. Keyboy still surviving. That's his pure Valve, but Keyboy's too darn tanky. Severo with the SOD falling in again onto Carl Teasy, but it's a kill over as Oheb got the kill on Sans. It's a 1-for-0, and ONIC ID have lost one of their main damage dealers.
It happened again! The SOD landing on Carl Teasy, but him holding on that winter crown and even having the immortality still. ONIC ID could not proceed with this fight, not with Sans, or not without Sans. And that results in a Lord that'll finally go into the hands of Team Liquid. They still have ways to defend this though. They still have Severo. It might... Yeah, Sans will definitely make it. The Lord is gonna spawn a bit later in this game. And all their resources are gonna be up by then. So they definitely will have a way to deal with this. But how does Team Liquid try and approach this? Because so far the team fights that they've been winning out on are the team fights wherein they come in from the most unexpected angles across the map, where they get to use the glorious pathway to really block away members.
Wait,
Where's
that's not right.
Yeah. Oh, he sold it.
He sold it and bought... Okay.
What's he gonna
so
buy?
he's selling again. He knows he's not going to get any value out of that. So he buys the Wind of Nature. There he goes. 0 stacks on Skypiercer.
Okay.
Kai with a taunt in the front line right now as Keyboy gets caught in the final slash and will just be disintegrated. Has immortality though. The AOG was cancelled out. Now Sans is able to go for the clear onto it. AOG getting him out. Kyrie still looking for the taunt. Oheb still there. Appraiser's rat dodged away from him as Oheb jumps in again. Immortality buys across the board. Severo with the Rose Gold Meteor. The Lord already into the Crystal. The SOD landing to the back line. And Severo goes in again with the SOD and finds his spear victory from Severo. The Lord is still on the base. They've defended again. Carl! Not able to end. Sanji, one more hit. Throw back again. Liquid Philippines lose all their members, but ONIC ID lose their crystal.
That could have been a moment. Keyboy already found the taunt. He found the taunt onto Oheb. And you would think that was a very risky play because the marksman, their gold laner wasn't there anymore. Team Liquid Philippines fought with the only remaining resources and people that they had in that fight. And we saw each and every one of them up until the very end risking it, just focusing everything on the base. Carl and even Sanji. He still had the Crimson Beacon. He walked up towards the base, and the way that the Lord was still up, that was also another way that Team Liquid were able to find the end angle in this game. ONIC ID, they definitely were set on looking for the kill on Oheb, but that didn't translate into much. Now, let's hear what our panelists have to say after that very long game we had for game number 2.
Thank you very much. Considering how long that game was, I can't believe I'm saying this early. We already have match point for Team Liquid. And again, for some reason, blue side, first pick, still gets the W.
And we expected ONIC to switch up, but something else we did not expect is the return of the Alpha and the Hylos. And I'll tell you now, highlight plays coming from Daddy JP. I never thought he could make a Hylos do that. How could you sneak up around and somehow still find a way to singularly stun Sans, drop a glorious pathway to block the entry and the protection from ONIC ID to get to the point where we are when we ended?
That's a nightmare.
Hylas was super amazing, but I also want to highlight Severo. I really liked his play, and Sans. I don't know if that guys couldn't survive, it would be a 10-minute game. But Sans, he was trying to make everything he can just to defend the base.
And I really feel like it really is actually punishing those front lines, because in the previous keys to victory, make sure you punish those front lines, something that SRGOG does. And this is what we see coming in from TLBH. That Alpha, yes, has a lot of shred, a lot of true damage, but even the Arlet as well, whoever's up front, he's able to take care of it. Like you said, Diddy JP, making sure that the back line, sure, they can still deal damage, but it's going to take some time because he's going to stun them first.
To be fair, there were some moments of brilliance from ONIC as well. If you'll recall in that very final sequence, about 20 seconds, 30 seconds before the base broke, Keyboy had a stroke of genius. That was his easy equals empty squared moment. He concealed and ran through all the chaos and up and taunted Oheb, got him killed, and that bought them maybe 10 more seconds, but he was hoping for all hope that they would be able to clear and defend. But at the end of the day, Liquid knew what they were doing. That was, I'd say, one of the first times I've ever seen that kind of end angle to be able to just cause enough mayhem for the Lord and the rest of the minions to finish the job.
But still, you know, my emotions, like, it was still a roller coaster. You're still, okay, ONIC, and even when Team Liquid was trying to finish the base, you, 1 second, and you feel like, and you saw the emotions, like, Keyboy was, oh my god, he understood 1 more second, and they could win that game.
Yeah, playing a high loss like an Natalia, going to the back line, and then helping that initiation. Heck, now I gotta look at my own high loss play and be like, yo, I got stuff to do. I gotta teach this old dog new tricks.
Yep, big four by the end of that game were both Oheb and JP. Damage taken, most assists, most damage dealt, most farm. If Baby Cakes is Carl Tizzy and Oheb, what is Oheb and JP? Because that's a new connection that we've seen flourish here in the knockout stage of MSC 2025. I'm here for it. I want to see more of them.
Gentlemen, we're at match point, and I kind of feel like ONIC ID needs to take their time to re-strategize going into this matchup. So we're going for a very short break, but after this, we're going to resume and see if ONIC ID can push us further, or Team Liquid Philippines will be the second team to go to the Grand Finals.
Level up your gaming experience with over 8 billion playlists, only on Spotify, the official audio streaming partner for the 2025 Esports World Cup.
This land is calling.
The semifinal resumes with match point for Team Liquid. Welcome back to the English broadcast here at the panel, and we predict at least 4 games. And I gotta say, game number 2, that was very close. That was very close, but still, until the crystal is broken, you can't really say that you won. Welcome back. My name is Rafael. Alongside of me is Destroyer as well as Leo. Destroyer, looking at this matchup, is it really ONIC ID making the mistake, or is it just Team Liquid is just too strong?
I would like to say that Team Liquid is too strong, but as you mentioned, they were like nearly come back, and the problem, like every inch, it depends what's gonna happen, and exactly in that period of time, ONIC, they missed that inch. They need a little more time, like 30 seconds, like 2 seconds. Somewhere they just moved in a wrong pattern, but still, they can do it. I trust in them, I believe in them, and I think we can see much more. They warmed up, they are ready for it.
And I gotta say, Team Liquid, with that kind of win, I believe Liquid fans are feeling really good, because just gonna take this moment to remind everyone that the club championship, Team Liquid was number 7, if I'm not mistaken. Now being in top 4, I believe their number moved up. But if they become champions, then hey, it's gonna be looking pretty good. In fact, we're gonna look at the EWC Club Championship presented by STC. As of right now, Team Liquid is number 4.
Yep.
This is a huge movement coming in. If they were able to become eventually champions, they could keep up, or they could catch up with Falcons as well as Vitality.
Huge gains possibly on the horizon for Team Liquid, because they are 1 game away from making it to the grand finals. And if it's the same form that they bring into tomorrow's best of 7, I can't see a universe where they don't eventually take home the title. Like, this is the cleanest, the strongest, the best we've ever seen Liquid.
Yeah, but one thing that we got to talk about here is that Falcons, for them to be eligible, for them to be able to use these points, they need at least 1 title win, which they haven't gotten just yet. So honestly, the points are looking good, but they need to secure 1 win, and that puts pressure on Team Liquid as well, because if they win, then higher chance for them to win it this year.
So actually, it depends. For the clubs, it's like a competition, real competition, because Falcons need to win, Liquid needs to win, and here is the best option for the Team Liquid to go to the better results.
And I gotta say, Team Liquid looks like they have a very good chance here, Leo.
A great chance. Again, we've seen them sweat, but isn't that part of the game, to put effort, to exert yourself? They haven't lost just yet. They haven't dropped the ball. They've dribbled it, sure, they've stumbled, they fumbled, but they rolled over, land on their feet, and then kept going at 100 miles per hour. That game 2 ending, oh my lord. You could have just clipped the last minute and said, guess how we end up here. No one could tell you what happened there in that game. And that's what makes, how you're saying, Destroyer, there is hope for ONIC.
Definitely.
Number 1, how do they start? Go blue.
Go blue.
Go blue.
That's the reason.
And then try to stop this madness of, this is a point that has dawned on me and made more concrete by a good friend of ours, Ray Ash. He's in my ear. He's like, yo, they're cornering Kyrie, bro.
Yeah.
They're forcing Kyrie on the Fred to deny the Arlott-Fred combo from Liquid, because that alone could ruin anything.
Something is to tell them. Yellow is 2024. 2025.
Saw blue.
Saw blue.
Oh, that's good, guys. So, for now, the blue side, you know, is chosen by...
And it's still TL!
Yes!
It's still TL!
A wise man by the name of Vas Montenegro once said, can I tell you the definition of insanity?
Oh, when you do the same and you expect another result?
Yes!
Well, hey, sometimes you gotta be a bit loco to get the W. But now we're looking at draft here. As you guys know, TLPH, blue side, ONIC on red. Fanny, Yisenshin, Fovia is banned out by Team Liquid, and now ONIC banning out the 1-1 Baxia, as well as the Lancelot. Would it be crazy to see Arlit first pick?
They tried. They're splitting pennies.
Okay.
They're switching it up.
Is this also a way to pinch down Kyrie?
This is kind of interesting.
They're forcing one of the 2 red picks.
Yes.
They're making ONIC play as if they were in blue with 1 less power pick in red.
Or just be like, hey, for me to be the GOAT, I need to beat you on the pick that you couldn't win with.
I hope it's not an ego check.
No, this shouldn't be. I think there's a plan. There's a plan that Lafel just described, and I'm pretty sure that they will follow it. So, CC and the second pick. It's Granger.
So they get away with the Arlott-Fred combo. What do they put it up with?
wow.
Arlott, Fred, Zushin.
Oh, that's nasty. Arla Jushin is already pretty nasty, not gonna lie.
You get the combos.
What's going on?
I mean, TL is just keep on stomping, right? Like, they get a draft that they can fight whenever they want, and the question is when. They're like, yes,
When?
fight, yes.
I didn't get when?
Earlier, today.
Yeah.
Yesterday. We wanted to fight yesterday.
It's like the coach asks, like, how many times do you guys want to fight? Yup. It's a meme, basically.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
I understood.
so now,
so you see, like,
Yes.
so right now, TLPH, we predicted the pick, and it's a pretty strong pick, pretty strong opening here coming in from Team Liquid.
I got no comments actually. To ONIC.
you can't Hayabusa here.
No. Oh!
The Barats?
Liquid
Barats.
switched up the formula, still ended up with the same result. Get Kyrie on a non-assassin hero.
I can't believe we're having a matchup between Kyrie and Carl, and it's just all tanks.
They tried to goad him. They said, go Haya, go whatever. So, you know it's not going to work.
Whatever you want. Yes, I want Barats. Let's go.
HP better than damage, okay?
Give me the peel.
Give me the peel. Hey, you know what? This is Kyrie's way of saying I'm hungry.
What is this?
Welcome, Daytona. I'm ready for it. So, Harit, Bunt, and Louis also going away. What's about the drafts? From the right side, ONIC I expect from them actually to ban gold lane, because they also already got Granger. From the left side, we see the jungler, we see X-Plane. Okay, potentially Rome, but most likely X-Plane.
Yeah. Irrital
Arlott,
Moskov is your
and-
choices.
Yes. And Moscow, I guess, the best choice.
Yep, either or. You just gotta let one slide. And so far, Oheb, even though he's been feeling under the weather, I gotta say, he's performing out of his mind. And they ban out the Moskov, giving the option for that Irrital to come true, which I kind of feel like they prefer, because at least you're not gonna be surprised by the SOD. But now the Farsa gets banned again.
So now what's left for Gilak Sans? Because you just need one more for Kiboy, you need one more for Sans. Who shows up first in Red 4? I'm guessing they protect Sans all the way, man. Sans was the guy in Game 2. They're closest at even scoring in the series. Protect Sans. Keep him at Red 5.
Eve again? What do you think about the slow drafts?
If only there was someone that can burst the front line so fast.
I got a question, by the way. Can it be 300 IQ?
This is not one of those that I was thinking about.
Yeah. Navarre, I didn't expect it, actually.
And then do you Matilda? Is that even an option?
So I guess the idea is just play with range. Like, I feel like you want to play macro, get as many objectives as possible. But for you to be able to execute this draft, kind of means you have to win the first 2 turtles. So the moment the first 2 turtles goes over to Team Liquid, you already lose a chunk of your win condition.
And then you play for the 15-minute mark.
Exactly, yeah.
And what do you think about just look for the right side? They got a poke damage, right? They need some kind of save, maybe sustain, maybe. I know it would sound like crazy, but Estes.
Honestly, I was thinking the same thing. It's not that crazy.
That's not Kiboy. You compromise 2 players.
And then the Minotaur and the Claude. Honestly, the draft coming in from TLPH kind of feels like last year MSC's draft. We haven't seen a Minotaur in a while.
Yep.
Got buff, pretty strong, but very situational. And honestly, looking at this draft, it's a good situation for the Minotaur. Not a lot of ways to punish this cow?
Actually,
Ox?
a lot of crowd control.
Minotaur.
I still
Minotaur.
His name is what he is.
Yeah, Minotaur is Minotaur. And if we are speaking about the ONIC, I still think that Estes, really, it seems good. For me, okay, it's for me.
It is Estes!
Yeah, here we go!
As much as I'm so happy that you saw this coming, I'm not so sure this is a very ONIC draft.
Honestly, it feels like ONIC is having a hard plan A and a hard plan B.
This feels like a plan H.
Hey, you know what? If H works out, then it's all good. Thank you very much, Destroyer, as well as Leo. Is this the final game for ONIC, or will they be able to extend this one? Mirko and Brigida, we're seeing Anestas in this match. We're gonna give it over to you guys.
Thank you so much to our panelists for breaking down that very surprising draft for this potential last game. The surprises just kept coming in from the moment we saw the Barats, or maybe from the moment we saw the Fredrin, Jushin, and Arlott locked in together for first face. Welcome to game number 3 between Team Liquid Philippines and ONIC Indonesia. I'm gonna give you the floor now. This is where you air all your, or maybe even just surface level sentiments regarding the draft.
Dude, the last time I saw Barats, my team went home. My team got reverse swept. So, this is bringing some real bad memories, man. And I agree with the panel. Kibo in the mid lane on the Estes already flickering out. Here's the problem. Here's the big problem.
Okay.
Yes, maybe they've got a draft that can work, but it's not very ONIC.
It's not.
Is that Kyrie and Kibo, or is that VYs, you know?
I'm not so sure anymore. How do we wait for the Keyboy setups? How do we anticipate the Kyrie mechanics? This is a completely different game plan that ONIC ID are trying to go by. So this is I don't know, maybe a double-edged sword in a way that Team Liquid ID may not be that like Team Liquid Philippines. See, it happened to me too. Team Liquid Philippines might not be that familiar with how ONIC ID does play this, but generally speaking, you should have an idea of how these kinds of lineups are played out.
60% first blood rate, the comparison you can see here for ONIC as well, but I don't think they're gonna get first blood with this composition.
Maybe
like
not.
usually they're all in, trying to go for like the aggressive plays, the Amon in the group stage, Lancelot that we've seen, again also Hayabusas. When you hear Kyrie, you don't hear Barats,
You're
man.
dancing, you're dancing.
It's like, oh my god, Kyrie Hayabusa. It's not, oh my god, Kyrie Barats. But hey, don't knock it until you try it. ONIC ID are trying something new.
Yeah.
They have Pryo on Turtle.
Although the team fight for Team Liquid looks too good. Speaking of team fight,
Final Slash coming down as well. That's it as well. Coming the healing from Keyboy too. Sanford going to be caught on the curtain calls. That's going to be a lot of damage. Plays Suns. Finds a Star Shatter. Praises Wrath coming down. As Kai is still alive. Carl caught on the bad spot. Red Trees both used up already. Sanford taken very low. Ludwig comes in. It's a Vero. Gets the kill. Kai walking up. Sanji with Lantern Flare as again Oheb just walks back into the mid lane. And ONIC have gotten Turtle 1.
that's why you don't knock it.
Until you try it.
Until you try it. And that team fight, clearly, ONIC ID got the advantage. So this is indeed very different from the usual ONIC ID that we know, but the way they're just playing it out through pure sustain. Okay.
Did you see that?
I didn't. What did
Someone
you
in the crowd said ONIC ID, get ready for your key to be crushed or something.
Oh my goodness. Don't knock it. Don't knock it.
Don't knock it till you try it, folks.
Don't knock it. So far, it's been working for ONIC ID. They have a 1k gold lead right now, and as we've mentioned, they've just sustained the entirety of the team fight. And Sans could be that reliable guy to fire all those Star Shatters from a distance and deal decent amount of damage to Team Liquid. And in a way, Team Liquid do have their own ways to sustain. They have the motivational roar. But during that moment, it was just so unfortunate. JP wasn't level 4 yet, and he felt like he was the first to be targeted down.
And this is the weirdest deja vu ever, I think, for Oheb, dude. He's like, wait, Kyrie and Yed, aren't those two the guys I beat with the Estes and the Barats at M3? Wasn't I on that side before? It's so weird for Oheb, probably, but hey, Sanford up top trying to go for the kills again. Keyboy able to heal up. Lutpi putting down the curtain call and poking Sanford down. Yeah, ONIC ID, it just seems like they're Yeb and Kyrie have never been able to beat this Ube. They've always fallen to this Ube, and now, I guess if you can't beat it, play it.
Yeah, that might just be the way to go. And it's not like it feels as if ONIC ID is just so unfamiliar with this entire playstyle. I mean, you've said it, they've played against this kind of comp long enough to know how to play around it, or maybe even better, how to play it themselves. But maybe that's where we try to look for answers in Team Liquid's lineup as well. How do they burst down this lineup, which feels as if it's so impossible and difficult to burst down? Oh, there's the Titona's welcome.
Keyboy playing in the back again. Minus Fury going to be used up already. Call TZ went in the retreat battle, and that's going to be the burst out coming in the Blazing Duet into the back. So Vero's still there. Keyboy with the healing, and they are all stuck. San's walking out. Pot of the Meteor down. Sanford with the stun onto 2. Keyboy with the flicker out. Still healing again. Sanford reset. Oh, with the BMI forward. Severo will be taken down. Look below and chased down by Sanford, who gets the Vengeance reset, but will not be in range. And Liquid have turned the game around against this Ube.
I mean, what better way to answer back against Ube if not through an AoE skill similar to the Blazing Duet that's able to shred you down? And that was right after we were questioning and asking where the damage, where the burst would potentially come from. And it seems like the answer was through this Minoan Fury Blazing Duet combo that OHEB and JP have been planning to do all along. OHEB right now is serving as the key, is serving as the answer to the entirety of the game plan that ONIC ID are trying to pull off.
Oh, you can see the audience here.
Wow.
Reaction after getting that team fight win, and now it just looks tough. Again, this is giving me a lot of trauma, man. My team did this in FPLID.
Yep, it's gonna take a bit more time too if they want to rely a bit more on Severo to provide a bit more damage. Oh, there goes the Astral Echo though. Forces out the Blazing Duet from OHEB. Could have been a close call, but that's the thing. ONIC ID right now, they're literally forced to group together. That's where their lineup is going to work best. That's where they have to make use of all the resources that they have. But the goal difference is making it a bit too difficult for them to even look for team fights. So maybe it's just playing the disciplined and slow game that's going to work for them at this point.
Let's see if they can make it work. The goal lead for Liquid isn't that massive, just like it was for ONIC ID. It's only hovering at 800. So ONIC ID definitely have a shot at securing the next neutral objective. Liquid, though, walking up against Sanji, to be poked in the mid lane. And Carl's on it. Oh, good reaction by Keyboy, flicking him out already. Minus Fury knocking him up. Detsona's welcome coming down as Sanford jumps in with a vengeance. Again, 2-man knock up, a 2-man stun. Blazing went into the bag of Brazier Shroud with a whole lot of damage. As Sanji walks up as well, dishes out damage, and it will be Sanford to secure the neutral objective. Keyboy already used the flicker earlier. Lantern Flare over to Sanford to get the free kill on Keyboy. And it will be another reset from Sanford! Again and again, going through this composition of ONIC.
The San duo! They're so back, they're doing it! Through the final slashes and all the lantern flares. If we were to look a bit back on that team fight and how it panned out, it was a great start. It was definitely a great start for Team Liquid. That was a flicker final slash from Sanford, followed up by another flicker and the knockup from JP as well. So ONIC ID, when you're forced to group together like this, oh my goodness, okay. That was, that was...
That's Sanford.
Yeah, Sanford on the Arlot for the 3rd time in a row.
Oh my lord.
In this series, by the way. But yeah, I mean, that's so hard to go up against. Your entire lineup needs to stick together, but Team Liquid Philippines, final slash, Minoan Fury, Blazing Duet. Oh, what did you say?
You said, I love you, ONIC.
You said, I love you.
Yes. If you can read lips, you know exactly what he said.
Yeah, because you're Filipino now.
I am, yes. The words I know are not that,
no,
yes.
They're very Filipino.
They're very Filipino. Sinigang, yes. All right, OHEB in the bottom lane, getting a free turret here. And at this point, what do ONIC do? Like, did they just scale? But how did he scale? Because Team Liquid are just going to split the map up. Even in team fights, they have so much AoE. Remember, they picked up this Ube against possibly the best composition to go up against Ube. Arlott going through everyone. Carl TZ on a Frederick, Juicin. Everybody has AoE CC.
And the Jushin has a Sky Piercer already, by the way.
Oh my lord.
So, I mean, if you want to look at different ways, maybe wave management, side management, but who could even do that? For ONIC ID, I don't think anyone is meant to play away from these other teammates. If you look at their composition, because they're all meant to work together. So they're being so restricted right now by the way that they decided to approach this game, now that especially Team Liquid is in the lead.
Lord. Kai's supposed to be attacked. Sanji brought back, has the Purify, pops it in, and respects the damage of ONIC with the Crimson Beacon. So at least ONIC do damage, but it's really just like poke, and they kind of... It's tough. It really is tough to get through the front line because their damage is so easily blocked.
Okay, this is such a hard thing to brainstorm about. Like how? It's just full of how. How does ONIC, where, when? Full of questions for ONIC ID right now, and
questions.
The way that they could potentially fight back against Team Liquid in this kind of situation. And to be fair, Team Liquid, there's nothing holding them back anymore.
Not in the side lanes.
Nothing at all.
Oh, final slash on a 2. Kai already to miss it, but all needed Fury. JP finds a 3-man knockup, and Sanford just going to town. A Star Shatter locking in the back in already. Kai still able to heal back up. The Blazing Duet comes in as Sanji picks it up. OHEB! Blazing Duet wreaking havoc. Sanji already using a Crimson Beacon. That could be an angle for ONIC to continue the chase. Final slash, not with the flicker this time. Sanford backing away.
Yeah.
JP for Kai is the trade, and it will be ONIC somehow holding on to this game. Carl in a weird spot, gets a dash away. Sans puts the dash down, puts a Star Shatter 2, and they get a tier 1.
Yeah. ONIC ID definitely had to force that chase. They had to run after Team Liquid. They had to prolong the fight a bit longer because they lost Kyrie. So there was no way that they could have contested the objective if ever they did let go of Team Liquid, if ever they did just decide to run away and disengage, because Team Liquid would have converted that into the objective. But nonetheless, that's where we end up right now. Team Liquid are holding on the objective!
Sanford with a final slash, bringing 2 back now as Kai tries his best. Kimo's healing up, and Sanford dives in. OHEB gets a triple kill, gunning all of them down. 4 members out. Sans, the sole survivor who was sent up top to clear the waves. Team Liquid now have a 6,700 gold lead. They are knocking at ONIC ID's base.
If ONIC ID doesn't find a way to deal with this, it would be very, very devastating. They've barely been able to do anything up against this lineup of Team Liquid. There have been moments wherein it seems like they're able to sustain it a bit long enough, but the next question is, how do they fight back now? Where will the damage come from? Because Team Liquid, they're the ones who can save up their skills a bit more later, just decide to go in, and that applies the most to the Blazing Duet. There's the Astral Echo already committed though. Sanford though!
Final slash already, but he's going to be taken down. Minute Fury! Over to the back by JP! Lutpi still surviving. Appraiser's Sprout with a big bonk. OHEB looking for the range. The curtain call stops them as ONIC ID once again find a way to stay in the game. Kai for Sanford. Sanji got a tough spot. Has the healing from JP. OHEB doing a whole lot of damage. Lutpi brought back, and it is the Sky Piercer for Sanji. Severo clearing out mid lane. Another wave in the bottom lane for TLPH to work with. Sanji with the Lantern Flare. That's going to be a lot of damage coming down. Severo finds a shutdown. OHEB, what? Walks in. BMI into Severo. And ONIC ID have yet another chance. A Star Shatter landing at Carl Teasy.
They're probably just waiting for that moment. Severo right now definitely has a bit more damage. Keyboy also picked up that okay. He did pick up the talisman as well, so he could spam his skills a bit more. He could spam his healing a bit more for his team. And that's what's been keeping them in the game so far. Yes, the first item was actually the Flask of the Oasis. It wasn't the talisman. It just came in recently now. So that's the entire idea that ONIC ID are definitely trying to go by in this game. But so far, if you look at the leads, Severo actually slightly ahead in terms of against OHEB. So I think if ONIC ID are still banking on that idea, then they've done a pretty good job at just trying to protect Severo overall.
Somehow Severo is actually ahead now. Sans is doing damage. ONIC ID, they might not have expected, well maybe they did expect to get to this point, just not in this fashion.
Yeah.
And Team Liquid, I don't know, that was so weird. Did they get overhyped? They just jumped in, dude.
Sanford was already low in that most recent team fight we saw, and JP still decided to go in, I feel, with a flicker play. So maybe they could have respected a bit more of ONIC and their sustain. But OHEB has a different plan in mind, I feel. Does have to force Sans to defend for now as they gradually walk towards the objective. This is going to be struggle number one for ONIC. How do they approach and how do they get into this area that's being heavily controlled and defended by Team Liquid Philippines?
They got a turret up top. The Wind of Nature is completed for OHEB, so now it's Sans
Whoa.
that needs to deal damage to get through. The damage is already visible. You can see the damage over to Sanji there, just with the Astral Meteor.
Yeah.
Severo gets the Sea Halberd.
So they have their ways to deal with the motivational roars and all the other sustains that could come in, the Fragrance as well, and the Arlots too. But wait, Astral Echo.
Lutfi with the current call ready. He's only with the back line. Severo finds it. It's a massive play for ONIC. They're going to go look for disengage. Kai still in the front, pops into Death's welcome, and he will sacrifice Kai for the Lord. Severo's got to be careful here. This could be an engage. JB with a flicker forward. Severo stayed for too long. He gets punished for it. They have a Lord in place. Lutfi pops in a Vengeance, gets the kill on Sanji. Mid lane pushed in by Carl. Sanford looking for an angle to go for the final slash. Now a big Astral Echo. The Star Shatter not landing him anyway for TLPH in the mid lane.
There's no Severo. They have to deal with this only with the Star Shatters.
They're healing Lutfi up. JP walks back in, giving the Vengeance resets constantly. Here's Carl, goes in again, has the red tree. Lutfi's doing a whole lot of damage. The curtain call, TZ taken down. That's a win of crowd already by Keyboy. Lutfi walks back in. That's the win of nature that we were talking about. But against Sans, gets the shot. Sanford, final slash, still surviving, but will fall to Gila Sans.
A wipeout by ONIC ID after holding on for so long in this game, waiting for that one moment that they could actually make it happen. Now Sanji forced to use the Crimson Beacon and all alone in this defense. Still gets the kill on to Lutfi though, but Severo's gonna go in.
That's a few shots and it's gonna be the Death Sonata to take him down. Only Carl left standing. He's gonna respawn, but is it gonna be in time? Does he get the retribution? No, he gets one ton! And ONIC ID with a Barats, with an Ube that has been their counter for years. Saved themselves in a semifinals.
What an unexpected turn of events! I believe everyone is in shock after what we just witnessed.
Holy shield!
Holy shields! No one ever would have thought that we'd see ONIC ID go with that kind of lineup, but they did! Here in MSC at EWC 2025, again, the semifinals. And our panelists did mention it felt like a hard plan B. It felt like it was too far from the signature ONIC ID, but apparently now they make it work. We are all still in a state of shock right now. I'm wondering what our panel has to say about this.
Well, you know what? If Plan H works, man, or you know what? This is Plan B. Barats. Where do we start? Where do we even start?
I thought it was Plan Holy Shields.
Hey,
Holy shield.
you know what? Plan B, Plan H, all of them are great. As long as you have a plan. As long as you have a plan, it looks good.
They went deep. Again, Liquid showed us the Hylos and the Alpha game 2. Now ONIC ID have shown us what they were cooking, man. Kyrie on a Barats and an Estes on Keyboy. I went into this game, post-draft, saying this is not a Keyboy hero. But apparently his aggression and his attention to detail, where his teammates are, what the team fight's doing, how Severo is carrying them hard.
Oh, yeah.
And this allowed for Sans to farm up to a point of no return as well for Liquid, that they got punished hard. This is it. This is the wipeout angle.
Actually, they overextended there. They went too far. And you know,
went too far.
Yeah, when you are leading and dominating all the game, You just can't stop. You just can't hold yourself. Stop. Deep breath.
No time,
down.
sir.
Yeah. Relax. And Liquid. We are on the horse. We are finishing. Okay, we are done.
I mean, that's a form of overheating. But to be fair, even during interviews and such, we hear that this is one of the strats that Team Liquid uses, which is to just overwhelm your opponents. Keep on pressure to the point where they can't even react. And we heard that Kyrie said the team with the better mentality wins. So it really is fighting between both of us. This is more of a mind game rather than physical games.
And the Sky Kings did not crack despite all that Liquid threw at them. Looking at the post-game stats again, writing was on the wall. Liquid was going to win this one if not for ONIC's clutch gene. And Kai, you know what? You're saying that it wasn't over just yet. You're saying that maybe that one siege minion would have died if Carl TZ came in, knocked it up, taunted it, and killed it. But I think otherwise. But luckily, Kyrie did not allow for that argument to happen anymore. He came in like an assassin, sir. Like an assassin with a Dakota's welcome, stopping Carl in his tracks.
Yeah, that was really nice. Actually, that comeback, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised what's happened. I was like, no, it's Liquid 3-0. Sadly, but it's 3-0. And ONIC making such turnaround, bounce back and right into the face.
Can we talk about 6,000 damage per minute by Sans, by the way, on this Novaria?
Yeah, a good chunk of this skewed the stats in the post-late game phase. When we started getting the point of, isn't Liquid throwing themselves a little too hastily at ONIC's feet? Aren't they overwhelming and overheating themselves? And that is what explains it. Look at the build on this Gila Novaria. He's juggling. Look at that. He's juggling. I think he was on his way to a Holy Crystal here.
Yeah, I kind of feel like having that Wishing Lantern as well really helped scale up that damage, making it so that no matter what kind of poke, either first skill or second skill that you do, you're just going to be racking it up.
That's right. And another bit of MLBB math. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Sanji has a Sky Piercer, yes? There was a sequence towards the later part of the game in the top lane where he was trying to kill Lutpi. Lutpi then rocks the Vengeance, presses it, and then accidentally, I think it somehow procs Sanji's Sky Piercer, and the Vengeance calculates the math, does the damage reduction, and then kills Sanji instead.
That's a big no you moment.
Yeah, call an ambulance.
No you.
No, but not for me. But not for me.
Yeah, but I know that's the meme, but
no.
Moment. Okay, let's return back, guys.
So this matchup, right? I really feel like you said, going in really deep just to make sure that what else did they have. And by the way, first win for Red Side. I mean, to be fair, still a very good track record for Blue. Maybe this is the reason why ONIC really want that Red Side, just to have that very weird last pick. In this case, it was the Estes. Well, Barats as well.
So with this, a singular win in a best of 5, yeah? Do they single-handedly say, we told you so, Red was a power side too? I don't know if that's the case, because Liquid can still bully you draft-wise. They can still force Kyrie on a non-assassin very easily from Blue and still get to this point. Because I'll tell you now, what if Liquid did not overheat? What if Liquid did what you just said and say, all right, we'll breathe in, we'll breathe out, we'll take it slow, we know we can win this fight. What if?
What if, the words, it's esport. It doesn't work here. What if? Here, the result, ONIC won that game. But I agree from the perspective that ONIC should think about the first pick.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's the shortest point from A to B. It's the best way to solve a problem. You can open a coconut with a spoon, but why would you?
Yeah. I like What If, though. Amazing series. But either ways,
I like the second season.
I haven't watched the second season. But anyways, for this matchup, yeah, I really feel like in a weird way it is still a battle of the junglers and also like the support system that they have around them. Can we just talk about Suns as well as Savero? Like they are the standout for ONIC right now.
Yep, they are essentially the icing to the cake. They make what ONIC's plans are possible, and they made that win so sweet for the Sonics. Because again, you can say that, oh, it was the Esses, it was the Barats at the end of the game. No. Like, what kept Liquid honest was the damage on the Granger, and the building impending inevitability of the Novaria.
Yep, the meteor to the face kind of hurts.
Pa! Poof! You make a sound.
Boom.
Yeah, cool.
There you go.
That's very ECA of you.
So, too much. Actually, if the Suns goes down or
Damn,
they remove him,
Big star shatter.
they only got problems.
At this point, gentlemen, kind of want to look at the stats because I kind of feel like we thought coming in to this tournament, like a few weeks ago, 4 to 5 weeks ago, we thought there's not going to be a lot of picks in the mid, but now it looks the most versatile. We've seen so many different mid picks throughout this entire month.
Eve, Novaria, Farsa, Valentina, Kagura,
Kadita,
Zushin.
Zetian, don't forget.
Zetian, Kimi.
She's
Yeah, right
falling
now, yes,
off,
but
bro.
overall,
Hey, she's there.
Kimi,
Selena.
Selena,
I
Lilia,
think we have one Sicilian game.
Sicilian.
Yeah, I think we have one Sicilian game. Sicilian, Lilia, like you said.
That's a dozen
Farsa.
heroes.
Dude, there's a lot of mids used now. Heck, there was a Valir.
Yep, I hate that jungle is the tight lane now. I'm uncomfortable. Oh, no, I'm comfortable, but I hate that there's only so many. There's literally half a dozen junglers. That's it.
I don't know if I like or don't like that we don't see a lot of Suyo. Because as a frontline, I hate Suyo. But as a watcher, damn, Suyo is a cool hero.
He is a highlight machine.
A playmaker. You know, he creates the moments. But actually, yes, it's a good point. Do we ever, I mean, like during MSC, at least one Suyo, no?
I would know.
I think there
don't
was...
remember.
No, I remember
In the
Area
groups.
77.
In the groups.
In the groups, yes. In the groups, Area 77 used it, lost, but hey, it is what is it, right? So jumping into this matchup, I'm almost scared trying to think of what ONIC ID is going to use, because so far, you know, like, yeah, if you win, you just keep on using the same thing. Actually, you know what? Even TL, they keep on changing every single time.
No, but Liquid technically in all 3 games so far have used the same gambit. We're threatening the Arlet Fredrin. What you gonna do about it? And they've always put Zushin on Sanji. That's it. So now the question: what if we switch it? What if we flip the
Script?
yes? What if we ask Liquid, what else do you have? Because ONIC might be building momentum and they might have your number now. You can't pull the same thing.
I mean, no, wait, you can. One more time. If ONIC understand how to beat that, then you need to change. But is there any reason to change something that works? Actually, if they didn't throw out the previous game, they could win, and it worked from the beginning. So no reason to change for something like unexpected to just surprise the opponent.
Something that I think we have to discuss as well. Yes, ONIC ID won, but that was too close for comfort.
Too tight.
Right? Because their draft really wants to scale up, at least a little bit, right? And I don't know, going up against a very high pressure team like Team Liquid, using that strategy again could win you the match, but it's not without its risk.
You know, I liked ONIC idea just because even when they played like Liquid were leading 6,000 and still ONIC could match them and they could beat them during the fights. It was hard, but they could.
So I'm a big fan of staying ahead of the curve. So I'd like to see Liquid switch it up so they don't have to rely on, again, the what if. They don't have to rely on the same momentum because slowly the momentum is shifting. ONIC is building up. And here we see Liquid are on the same side with the same bands, but ONIC has had it.
But
Arlet.
yes.
40, get out of here.
Yep.
Finally.
No, wait, no, 40, get back. He gets to say Z.
So, wait, at least ONIC changed something. We see another options for this team. Yes.
Kyrie doesn't have to play utility anymore.
Heck,
They've unlocked the Fredrin Arlet threat.
Heck, if he picks that, it's going to be trouble because there's a CC on the opposing
Exactly.
side. So maybe, you know, maybe he goes for that assassin. So right now we can see ONIC, they still pick up the box. I mean, like, to be fair, it could be jungle, it could be anything else.
Yep. Maybe Rome. We don't know.
It's flexible pick for now, and the Oh!
Now we really don't know.
Because technically, Paquito can go jungle. Granted, we haven't seen it.
Not in a while.
And granted, Paquito is a good matchup against the CC, but the theme of this best of 5 is, what if?
So Liquid are still on the Fredrin and Zushin train. What's ONIC to do? What else can they pull? Because these are already two unique picks halfway through the first phase.
Go Farsha right now. I think that's the option. That's the option. You need burst, you need to nuke. And with Paquito, actually you can. What do you think about it?
Honestly, something that I'm also thinking of, we haven't seen Kalia in this series. Could really help out, but they pick up the Harith here. Yep, looks kind of surprised. I hope he was just surprised about something else and not about him picking up the Harith. But now, looking at the bans, they're banning out the Granger. So I kind of feel like ONIC this time, they want to move a little bit faster, right? Like, make it so that they start to pressure TL more than TL can pressure them.
They got a lot of mobility for now. So ONIC decided to make it hard for Jusin, for CC, to keep them in the same position. And they will just split and try to make a fast initiation.
They ban out gold laners, key picks that OHEB could use. The Granger and the Moskov. What is going to be left for the Filipino sniper here?
Who knows, he might go for the Bruno just to make the tempo faster for them.
Bruno, Iritel, Beatrix.
Yep, there's a lot of options still.
You're okay.
Farsa bet here again?
Yes.
Never getting that Farsa.
I would like to see Farsa from the ONIC, but okay. Sounds good, but they decided to take the Harith at the first rotation.
So does ONIC... I'm gonna juggle a few choices here. Eve or Selena?
Selena looks better for me. So you can, like, you create a catch-up composition.
Catch-up?
Honestly, if they pick up Kalia here, I'm all for it. Right? Just speed it up. Just kill Carl over and over again.
Yeah, and then just leave the surprise for...
they pick up the Kadira though, so...
Sans. Nope, they're gonna jump it.
Yeah, I feel like the idea is just to punish the front line. But yeah, I would prefer just picking up the Kalia because you're giving a chance for TL to pick it up.
Hey, it's a fish girl. Still a fish girl.
Interesting, but they need...
I'm allergic to seafood.
They need to... something else, like Badang maybe from for the right side. So you need the initiation. You need, like, if you want with the AoE composition, so go for it. You got Paquito for the crowd control. Yeah. Just add Badang. But the question is if Team Liquid gonna pick.
So there's the Gadot for Daddy JP. So again, there's a smorgasbord of gold laners left, and it's still the Claude.
Let me just say, for ONIC, targeting is going to be very, very crucial for them because their damage profile is really all in on 1% at a time.
Yeah.
So the moment they're not in sync, the moment their chemistry is not there, the damage is not going to be looking good.
It's very positional, very... I don't want to say skill shot based, but you have to have good mechanics and good foresight to make this 4 work so far, not even the 5. While Liquid, my only real issue is damage profile too. It's all DOT. There's no real burst.
But they have constant damage.
Yes.
So, like, maybe it's the plan for the game. Constant damage, yes, a lot of sustain, and the last pick, and it's Kalea.
Well, I mean, Fish Girl got picked last, but she got picked still. What are your thoughts, Leo, on the draft? Very fishy?
I like... Yeah, but just the same, I like how halfway through we saw where it was going. We saw where, you know, ONIC planned to put their pieces. For Liquid, though, I'm usually skittish about teams who play this way or have lineups like this, but it's the cavalry, man. I trust them. I believe that they know what they're doing with this.
I'll be short. Team Liquid got a better composition and easily more simple.
Well, we'll see how it turns out because this time it's for Mirko and Brigida to call the game.
Who would have thought that in the current meta, there's a chance we'll actually see the Kalea come in as last pick?
Yep.
This is a chance for ONIC to extend the series once more, because if not, Team Liquid, they're still on that match point. Welcome to game number 4 between Team Liquid and ONIC ID. This is still do or die for them, and they decide to bring out a Paquito Cadito. What do you think about this?
Yeah, the Paquito first pick was honestly weird, right? It was paired with the Baksha. I think we instantly knew where it was going here. We knew the Baksha was going to go to the jungle. Yes, Lapu, I mean, there was a chance that Paquito goes to the jungle. But knowing Lutpi, this is just like a comfort for him, especially when he's up against CC for some reason. Yeah, it's definitely just an early aggression composition. They're trying to look and trying to do what they failed to do in the group stage. Lutpi doing a whole lot already, baiting them in, and Sanford's caught in the bad spot. Shield Unity, vengeance already from Sanford, and first blood to Kai.
Oh, that cut was punished right there for Sanford, and it's been a while since we saw ONIC ID actually get that much of an advantage against the Apex Predator. So things have clearly changed a bit as soon as we step into game number 4. And I agree, this is something on it where we could potentially expect ONIC ID to be a bit more explosive. There are more ways for them to just keep going with the fights. Again, the cooldowns on the Paquito, it's one of the biggest adjustments that we saw. And even in terms of how smooth the combos just laid out for the Kadita too. So it could be a much more comfortable game for them. But we're taking a quick look at the emblems too. Could this... like the Paquito nowadays, is it really gonna be all damage? Oh, hold on. That might be the answer, or maybe just the raw damage coming in from the Paquito too, but this is a very aggressive start for ONIC ID.
It is. They really want to get the ball rolling from the start here. They don't want to waste any time. And Kibo is already in a 1v1 against Carl Teasy. Petrified, Breath of the Ocean, and the Rough Waves. The Revitalize gets into safety. The Appraiser's Wrath gets him a bit more HP with the Revitalize again. That's a Crimson Beacon for Sanji. And Sanford walking up. It'll be Carl to win out the retreat battle. Lutpi ready for the hills. Sans caught the AOJ from JP to get the lead early and to take the snowball potential away from ONIC ID.
Such a perfectly timed knockup from Sanji, not allowing Kyrie to even find a way to use that retribution in time. And I mean, even the way Carl TZ just took a step back, laid that Appraiser's Wrath, brought Kyrie down to half HP. Even despite that very aggressive start for ONIC ID, Team Liquid found their way around it once again, and that just accumulates. It denied, wow, what an expression. It denied the purple buff, but Sanji got taken down there.
Yeah, no Purify, very susceptible to a... I think what happened was a Tsunami Slam into Rough Waves combo.
So far, Team Liquid still in the lead, but this does feel like it's a much better situation for ONIC ID. Even if you just look at the sides, Severo, well, Severo's been doing a great job so far, even in the past few games where we thought that Oheb was way ahead. He was actually keeping up. And now in the EXP lane, if you look at Lutpi on the Paquito, which is again a surprise pick that came into the draft, he's managed Sanford much better compared to the previous games. And although there has been a bit of help from his teammates, I think this Paquito changes a lot in terms of the tempo of how ONIC ID is able to play their game. I mean, look at that. He's just not scared of Sanford anymore.
Yeah, look at that knockout strike and the shield as well. This might actually be a solo kill. No? All right, Sanford has vengeance. He needs to respect that. Kai pops in shield Unity, trying to go for a pick there, but he knows that I think it's a bit too ambitious to look for a kill on any of these members. Carl, though, utilizing that spot. Appraiser's Wrath to take the purple buff away, setting up for an amazing turtle take here. Still has the retreat a level ahead of Kyrie.
Yeah, it was close. At least he still had the energy eruption to get the last hit, but if not, Keyboy would have gone for it. Oh!
Tsunami Slam blocking his hand for down. The AOJ lands on him. Batons gets the kill before that. 3-man top from Carl TC. Look, he wins it out. Knockout strike over to JP, and now he's going to be caught in Zaman Force. And that's the kill to Keyboy as ONIC pushed the lead to take it back.
It looked like such a good knockup, but wait, Keyboy, will he get out of this?
No flicker, he won't be able to get out of this. Gets a bit more sustained, but gets slammed down to the ground by Sanji.
It looked like such a great AOG already. Every single member of ONIC ID in that team fight got knocked up, but Sanji wasn't anywhere to be found. Carl TZ, he did have to deal with a lot as well after the combo from San. Sanford does use the curtain call, however, onto Lutpi. But,
Be a kill.
oh my goodness, the Pakiro. Now we see why. Or maybe this is why people or teams have been attempting to use the Pakiro all this time. Oh, but wait, JP. Oh,
On the AOG, look, he can go for the shield. He goes for the double shield and he gets away again. Yeah. Pakiro's kind of nasty to be escaping with, right? You have a knockout strike. You have so many ways to just sustain up with the first skill. So that's what we've been seeing.
Lutpi 0 or with 3 assists right now in that game, in this game, just missing out on 1 kill. And how much emphasis is put on the EXP lane has been an ongoing conversation so far in the current meta. And that's why even for the past few games, we've put so much emphasis on the R-Lot, on Sanford, on how he's just able to constantly set the tempo for his team. But now it seems much more balanced. And even if you look at the gold, Lutpi's ahead by around 500. So that's already something. But Oheb, he's doing such a good job too in his lane, up against Xavero, up ahead by 800 almost.
They baited out the Crimson Beacon too. Yeah, Oheb's doing a good job in lane right now. The BMI, a great way to deal with the Harrod, but later on in the team fights, especially considering this time Xavero has the Purify, it'll be hard for TLP to deal with him. TL on the turtle, Lutpi holding the angle, getting Sanford half HP there, shield unity over with the Breath of the Ocean too. It's even the cancel out from the AOG, but he still gets it in time. Oheb gets the kill on Keyboy. Kai with a Poison, dealing a lot, or just taking a lot of damage. Sanford doing so much with the curtain call, and Kai will fall. Lutpi runs away. Suns should be able to escape, but again, Liquid wins out the turtle battle.
Yeah, it was just a bit off-timed for Keyboy. He did go in with the flicker, but didn't find the stun onto whoever he wanted to go for in that moment. Handed over the objective, and that curtain call definitely made a difference in this fight. He was able to tie down Lutpi, and one of the heroes who you definitely do not want to escape, but Xavero with the Zaman Force will be able to escape this attempt from Team Liquid this time around. So Team Liquid just have to be really cautious of where Sans might just come from, where the combos could be laid onto, or who could be the target for ONIC ID, because it's given that ONIC ID have such an easy way to look for a pickoff from Team Liquid. And if earlier they were not as hesitant to even go for the likes of Carl TZ, maybe they have to consider it a bit more this time.
Team Liquid are just playing the fundamental game here. Kai walks up again, gets caught with the curtain call. That's giving the Tsunami Slam over to Sanford, and instantly into Sans for the cancel from Carl. Getting the taunt down, the Petrify locks him down. The AOG zone Xavero in the backline of the battle. Mirror Image gets Oheb in range to get the Blazing Duet. Lutpi just defending, and again, ONIC lose out in the skirmish. Kai barely surviving. TL looking for the capitalization in the mid lane as Lutpi goes in for the knockout strike 2 times. And he actually evades from a taunt, from 2 taunts.
Yeah, that was a different take. Team Liquid walked right into ONIC ID, knowing fully well that the combos were still there, that the damage could still come in, but that was a very brave call that Team Liquid did. Probably also confident enough in their abilities to reposition. Oh my goodness! The one-on-one by Xavero and Oheb. We gotta keep an eye out for these 2 gold laners, but going back, Team Liquid, they're just so close. ONIC ID 2 years ago, they were also able to make things happen. They were also able to get an MSC for themselves. And Team Liquids were the ones who failed, but they're going after JP this time. Hold on.
Yeah, this is the only thing they can get, dude. They can't get anything else. JP still surviving for a bit. Ends up being Xavero who gets the kill. TL were just too quick with it. They canceled the recall, so in the end, it was either ONIC get nothing or ONIC get JP for the Lord. And they chose JP.
Yeah, that's why they went all in. Just chased after him in the top lane, but the damage from Oheb right now with attack speeds, you could literally see it. And we're just waiting for the Lord to march up top. Now ONIC ID have to defend this as much as they can. Once again, the grand final slot, the last slot on the line. And Team Liquid, after failing last year, they're just so close to getting there.
After failing 2 years in a row. Once to ONIC they lost, the other to Falcons AP Bren. Yes, this is redemption for TL with a 7,000 gold lead here in game number 4. it's looking like TL should be able to get it done. Again, ONIC ID are really just banking on late game at this point of the game.
Yeah.
And even, that damage from OHEB.
I was about to say, Keyboy was trying to look for something for the entire 10 minutes in this game. He was looking for an angle to set up using the Tsunami Slam, was looking for a target who probably did not have the Purify. But even if he did want to go for any of these members of Team Liquid, the response is the clapbacks just come in too fast. Oh, Carltiti walks right into Sans.
Yeah, great Breath of the Ocean there. Improvisation by Sans. He just wanted to check the bush, didn't expect Carl to walk up and dash on him. But he got the Breath of the Ocean, canceled any way that it could be bad. Could be a pick-off for TL. And we're back to just both teams playing it slow. TL have the 7,000 gold lead. There is absolutely no reason for them to push in. They've learned from what happened in the previous game. Again, TL were the ones in the lead in the previous game, folks. They were the fundamentally better team, but they got overzealous, walked in, gave a few shutdowns, and turned the game around, giving it to ONIC.
Yeah.
Here, ONIC will have to wait for quite a while. The Holy Crystal is there, but is it enough?
Yeah. Literally everywhere you look at it right now, every single player of Team Liquid is ahead.
They got Radiant Armors.
So there is absolutely no reason for them to make such a big play that could potentially be a risk, that could potentially put ONIC ID back in this game. So they're going to play this very disciplined. They're just going to manage the waves. Lutfi as well has been trying to manage the sides a bit whenever he can. But OHEB is just so quick to respond. Now what? JP, maybe it was was his first skill, right?
Yeah.
That got the last hit.
It's always unlucky, but for some reason, it's always JP to end with a buff. Hey, it's okay. You get a little bit of value. Maybe not in the mana regen department, but hybrid. Oh man, they're just OHEB. Oh, that damage. They can blitz this really quick. Hi. Shield Unity. We've seen this before in the box share. Going in a bit too far ahead. Now jumps in on Sanji. Looking for the taunt again. Lutfi going for the knockout strike, and it will be Kai losing out. AOG cancelled out, and that's another Keyboy shredded before he can even do anything. Severo with him on force. Lutfi coming. That's Sans with the rough waves, but it's not enough. Sanji with the chase. Sans will fall as well. Team Liquid. Now, what do? Do they go for the Lord, or do they try to end the game?
I just want to say, Sanji used his Crimson Beacon just now. Like, the entire time, Kyrie went into him using the back to shield Unity. The entire time, ONIC ID were trying to burst him down after that buff. He did not need to use the Crimson Beacon. And it seems like the call is to go for the Lord instead, because we put such great emphasis on how Team Liquid need to play this very disciplined. They're 10k ahead of ONIC ID. And what happened just now, to a certain extent, you might say, it was looking to be, or kind of like a mistake from ONIC ID, or a miscalculation even, because it seemed like they wanted to go for a pickoff, but Sanji still had the Crimson Beacon. That's one of the biggest concerns. Also the Purify. So maybe not the best target to go for, and now they're left to defend.
Team Liquid really want to end the game with this push. You can see the way they are managing the waves. Slow push in the bottom lane, waiting for the next wave up top and in the mid lane. They really want to go for it right here, right now. 10,000 gold lead. ONIC have been able to fight off a lot of crazy sieges before. Curtain Call locks him down though. Kai and Severo tied up together. Lutfi in the mid lane now goes for the knockout strike, and Sans jumps in with the rough waves. Not enough damage to take him down, but it's going to be Tsunami Slam over to JP. AOG cancelled out. Lutfi brought back to Sanji to pick up the kill. Turret down below, taking down Keyboy. Able to escape. Severo pops in his bond force, but it's not enough damage to get him out. Sky Piercer. Sanji gets the kill. And now, with a cannon minion in the top lane, ONIC are on their last legs. The curtain call comes in. Sanji gets the triple. Team Liquid shatter the dreams of ONIC ID, and they make it to the grand finals of MSC 2025 at the Esports World Cup.
We are gonna stay quiet for some time.
The GOAT has shushed us.
The GOAT has shushed us. And you see right now in front of your screens, The cavalry who's holding the hopes of the PH region. Finally, after failing twice, have made it to the grand finals of MSC.